So we're going to try this again. We're outside of City Hall with Mayor Don Grebien. He's got a busy schedule, so we're grateful for his time. He's headed over to Shea High School for their graduation ceremony, the third in a 3-day tour, if you will, of Pawtucket's young finest. And as we've seen in the last few months, there's a lot of wonderful kids graduating from the Pawtucket school system, and a lot of great teachers. We're obviously talking about the stadium. The speaker, for the time being, has put the kibosh on any government, I'll call it budget money, relative to this without going through a full budgetary process. You've got a short-term challenge here of about $30 million. To your credit, not to poor planning, but quite frankly to inflationary pressures that have resulted in some dramatic cost overruns at stadiums around the country. Where can the money come from?
So first, I say this all the time, right? Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. This is more than a stadium. This is about a $340 million gateway project in the state of Rhode Island here in Pawtucket, from housing to commercial and what our community needs. So we have that $30 million gap that we've narrowed it down to. We've been having ongoing conversations with the Commerce Department, our Commerce team, the Fortuitous team, to figure out how we narrow that gap down, and we come out with a proposal or a package, if you will, that meets everybody's needs to keep this project going and not lose the project.
So where will Commerce take this money from?
So first of all, there's what we have, the TIF, which is tax incremental financial legislation. It was passed a few years ago when by then the General Assembly, and signed into law by Governor Raimondo, when the state kind of lost the paw socks in that development for Pawtucket. Having said that, the TIF legislation would be tax incremental financing, increment I should say, and that would be money that comes out of the district that we've created, and there would be state funding that comes into this project, all based on the incremental dollars.
Right. So the shortfall itself, are they raising the TIF expectations? Where?
There's always been more in the TIF, so we're working on what everybody's comfortable with. I think we have the full support of the governor and other leaders to make sure that this project continues. It's how do we take it? There's always been additional incremental revenue that's been there, Pat. So it depends. It depends on the makeup, but more would be on the incremental financing.
So what are the existing forecasts right now for the TIF financing?
It's a fair question. I should know that off my head. The $30 million would add to the $30 million. The $22 million has already been approved. So if we put in the $52 million of public dollars, the annual projection over the 30-year life would be about just under $600 million. So we almost double the $300 million.
Right.
But the actual dollar amount right now, that's what they're doing. We have the Stiefel Group, and you were there when we had the meeting with the Commerce Board the other day. So they're flushing those numbers out.
All right, so they're going to come out with a forecast of what projected TIF is with a 2022 perspective, and that's going to account for the extra income potentially?
It could. There are many different solutions. We could be back in front of the General Assembly through the process. I know the Speaker had said he's open to having a process. We have not put it in because we're trying to get through what the right number is, what everybody believes is what the state's obligation and the city's obligation, as well as the developer, because they play a role in this too. They've already put in a better than $20 million additional revenue in, and plus some equity as well. So,
how much time do you have left?
That's a good question. I mean, for us, if we don't get this done soon, we lose the development. I'm sorry, the groundbreaking and the work that's being done over there. There are commitments right now with on the Tidewater site with, I keep going to say National Grid, but PPL.
Right.
So they have all those obligations. So time is of the essence. There's no really deadline, but it's about not losing another construction season.
Fair enough. Well, listen, good luck. I guess we'll see you Tuesday morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, and of course, love to the kids at Shea.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care now.
You're good?